Feel that. Tell me that doesn't feel like a cock.
It doesn't. I mean, it feels like your leg.
The other day I pleasured myself to the image of Mrs. Buttersworth. She got me there like I was on the Express A train. Bing, bang, boom. Talk about a river of ejaculate. A volume I had never seen in my lifetime. Now I know what the villagers of Pompeii felt like. Now I know what those sad villagers of Pompeii felt like. Except where they were rained down on hot lava, I rained down on those villagers with frothy ejaculate.
Welcome back to the Sandy Hahn podcast. I believe this is episode 76, which is really crazy. Before I get started, these guys have been doing, pretty much taking all the podcasts on the road, which has made it so much more fun. There's going to be some really cool places I'm going to over the next few weeks, so I'm very excited about that. But we're going to start now with this wonderful Rouser estate. Weather was so nice. We had they built a fire and we got the lake. I can't see as much, but Lake Erie's right there. It's fantastic. So thank you, Vic Rouser, for having us here. Steve Weichsel and Dan Oist. And we all go back a long ways, and we're going to talk about that and talk about some funny shit, funny stories, the stuff we've been through over the years. And I actually went to college, Bowling Green, with the SE with Dan Weiss and Steve White. So he was only there for I think a year or so.
just stopping in.
All day asked me to leave. I thought so. It's simultaneously. Was there?
And then and Vic went to Miami. Where did you graduate from?
I went to Miami too.
Did you really?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he made a brief visit there as well.
Most people
Stopped
know
by.
I've been to college with them at some point.
Yeah.
That is 6 to 9.
I graduated in December '89. 5 years now.
You were a year ahead of us.
Yeah. 85 from high school.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about all this stuff, but I'm going to let each of them talk about it, let them talk a little about themselves, what they do, and do some, whichever one their team might start with the Vic Rouser, who's has some relations.
Married. Carolyn is my wife. One child, Ava. He's in college, plays volleyball. That's kind of what we're doing nowadays. We're traveling around, watching her ski here, doing that. Going away tomorrow, actually. And going up to Pennsylvania and seeing another friend of mine, and then this is volleyball.
How often did you see the family up there?
Every weekend right now. It's not as bad for her as it sounds. We only see her for dinner at home games one night, and the other night she was out with her friends. And at away games, we just see her for 5 minutes every day.
Okay.
So, but we get to watch her play. Tomorrow's her last game of her career, regular season, and then they go into a tournament. So the following weekend, that's it.
And she's at Harvard.
She is.
Smarty pants, and plays volleyball. She's a tall girl.
Yeah. 6 footer.
Beautiful girl.
Thank you.
She's 6 foot or 6.
She is 5'11" and 3/4 barefoot.
Wow. Oh,
So she goes. She plays at 6'1". So my mother always said, "You're like 6'5". I'm not 6'2". But at 6'5". So we made a point that we're going to measure her precisely.
Nice.
But yeah, she just assured that her 6 feet naturally. So.
And then Steve was telling me on the way over that she's going to do the track too as well. Like she can do the high jump better than the best person who does a high jump, and she can't run.
That's what she's thinking right now. The coach wants her to jump, and she's deciding whether to do that or just coast through her senior year. So I think it's leaning towards the jumping, and she just likes the competitive nature of it. She's got it for 13 years. So
That's awesome.
so
Crazy.
that's what it's about. So
And when does she graduate?
in May.
And
So this is
she's
it.
got a pretty nifty job waiting for her.
Yeah, she's moved to New York, so that'll be her new area to Hunter, New York. And she's working for Goldman Sachs, and she starts that in July.
There's an amazing amount of smarts in this group. I'm talking about the kids.
Not as for clearly.
I would, yeah.
We've done enough dumb shit together over the years. It's the stories are be here all night talking about that. But
Could I just throw in one quick one that I
Absolutely.
need to say because I almost forgot to bring this up. But when I think I first met you, Steve and I went to Bowling Green, and we couldn't get a ride. Remember that?
That was that trip.
That was that trip, and we could not get a ride.
We got a ride. Right to hell.
As for the first hour,
A ride
From
to
Miami to Dayton. It was, what month was that? Like January?
It was
Beginning of
cold.
February? It was freezing cold.
and we packed accordingly. We had about $6, most of it in change. We had a half a bag of onions and a toothbrush for each of us.
Nice.
And the guy said, "All I have room for you, the only room I have is in the back of my pickup truck." And we sat in the back of the pickup truck for an hour.
I mean, it
in
was.
January.
It was. I'm surprised we didn't actually hug. We didn't. We didn't. But we for an hour. We were riding on the highway in the middle
You
of
hugged.
freezing.
Don't lie. You guys hugged.
And there's finally made it to Dayton, and he switched to a car like a sedan that's like a Ben all fit. But that's the first time. Yeah, that was the first time meeting it.
Oh,
That was it.
Lord.
That's how badly we wanted to come to TG.
It was a fun weekend.
We said we're going to sit in the back, and it was
Which is all I remember
about
about it.
5 minutes into the trip.
Oh,
I realized
you think?
yeah, it was a terrible idea, but it was a fun weekend. I'm sure.
That is insane. I never, thank you for sharing that. I've heard that one
The
before.
Funyuns were excellent too.
I love Funyuns.
Was it you that was with
Yeah.
me and T-Bone going to Miami from BG in the Nova? Or were we coming to visit you at that trip?
I think you were coming to visit us.
Okay. That was a Josie in Candy County.
Then we'll, Mr. Steve Weitzel, he's Tom Lawrence's cousin. That's how I met him. And boy, we've done some things over the years. Boy. So I'll just let you talk about you and you're brilliant kids. Brilliant fucking kids. So.
They got in jail, so that's good. Step one. So Sandy, I would have met you through Tom coming to visit. When I was still in Miami, when I visited Bowling Green. And actually, then eventually when I transferred to Bowling Green, I went to Miami for 3 semesters, but then I stayed home a semester and worked in the second semester of my sophomore year. And I was visiting you guys all the time because I was an SAE at Miami, and you guys were all SAEs. Dan, Tommy, you, which I didn't know you then, but I got to know you quickly. And then Andy Conley, who's a good friend of ours from high school. So it was natural. So I just went up there all the time. Yeah.
I've seen him.
So he married Beth. I don't know if you remember.
'em.
Directors from
Yes.
She was a coyote.
she was a Coyote.
Yeah.
I was either she drew the long straw because she got set up with Andy on a night where she was either going to be set up with me, Dan, or Andy. she chose wisely. She chose wisely.
Smart decision.
Crucial fit.
Yes.
And
Talk about crossroads in your life.
no kidding. But that's so then, I mean, visiting you guys, it was so much fun at Bowling Green. The last thing I was concerned about, as I proved, was academics. And I just went with the fun was, and that was, I mean, I had a great time at Bowling Green. I have nothing but great memories. But then, actually, technically, I finished it pretty straight. But anyway, I'm a kind of a lifer in Rocky River. So I was 4 years old. I lived here. I just figured out the other day, not the other day, but a couple weeks ago. This is actually pretty sad. Other than college residences, I've never lived more than 4 miles from my childhood home. I lived in North Fairview Park with Craig Notarini. After getting, I lived with Vic.
You moved out east to Lakewood.
Yeah, right. I went as far east as Lakewood. Right? We lived together for a while, 3, 4 years.
Yeah, it was like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Lakeland, Westwood.
Yeah, I remember Westwood.
And then,
Good times there.
just back in the river ever since. So I've got 5 kids, 3 girls and 2 boys. So my oldest daughter's I'm divorced now, but 4 years. But
These
the
kids are all geniuses. They're spores. Sorry. How about that?
I'm going to brag on him real quick. Can I just do it because
Absolutely.
he has 5 kids. All of them were in the top 1 or 1/2 of 1% on their ACT. 4 of them have perfect 36s. One has a perfect 36. I mean, it's unheard of. The entire family's in the top 1% in the country, and some higher than that. It's great.
well, they all have third-party proof they're smarter than me. So
It's
Yeah, exactly.
congratulations. That's really
Yes, cheers to that.
Cheers to that, Stephen.
Just a good
One
kid,
missed,
and
missed like one question on the SAT and retook it. And I heard a story that one missed.
well, Leanna, the oldest, she did take it twice. She took it one time and she just wanted to give it another run. So that whatever, she was the first. Anna's doing really well. She's in New York City. She loves it there. She lives with her boyfriend. They're on the 83rd. He's 83rd between 2nd and 3rd. So she goes to Central Park museums, and she's just really into that whole thing. She loves it. So she's working for a hedge fund there, and is actually probably going back and getting her master's. She's applying to that now. So she's looking to do that. My second daughter, Libby, is loving it in Columbus. She went to Ohio State, graduated a year ago, May, and she's at Nationwide Children's Hospital, pediatric ICU. She's looking at some other schooling stuff too. Charlotte, my third daughter, is now in California. She just started medical school in August. So she's got the next 5 years there, and then 5 or 6 before she ever gets a full-time job. But she's working her ass off, and she's doing great. And she got very lucky too, because her boyfriend's out in California, and she met him in college. He graduated a year before her. I think it would have been hard for them. They went the year being apart, but I think it would have been very difficult if she was like 2,000 or so miles away. But now she's a half hour away from him in California. He's a great kid. So I'm excited for her. Joey, my first boy, is in Ohio State. He's 19, and he is studying computer science. I don't know what the smart term. Yeah, smart coding things. Actually, just 3 hours ago, he called me because he just got his internship. He got an internship he was interviewing for next summer, so he'll be working for a company owned by IBM, having to do with cloud computing. So really, he's very excited. I'm excited for him. And my youngest, I got one left in high school, so he's a senior at Rocky River, and he just sent in his college applications last week, and see what happens.
Awesome.
They're all doing well.
Smart kids. And then we got Dan Weiss. every time you see him, teeth are white.
Oh,
he
yeah.
is tan. Sometimes in a
Gotta keep it going.
break for some reason, like purple. It's crazy, but he's a dear friend, really good person. He always sends me nice texts throughout the years, really, of music and stuff to cheer me up, because I had a lot of difficult times over the years, but he's been one of the great people who send me, and your knowledge of music too.
Yeah, I mean,
Amazing.
I've always been into music, and that's just something I like to share. If I think something's cool, I'll send it to a friend or
I
my
love
brother or whatever. And
when my brother-in-law was back in town, did he get you, him, Jason Berchaski, who was on my podcast, and Adam Walk right there. The knowledge of the music.
I love that.
Insane.
Yeah.
I love music, but you guys, you send me stuff I've never even heard.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always excited when I find a new artist that I'd never listened to before. I'm like, oh, that's a pretty cool song. And Spotify does all the, if you like this, you might like this.
Yeah.
And so I'll go on to, just to different people I've never heard of. And then, I don't know, I just love it. So
It's awesome. So I'm looking forward to actually putting our music together to play behind this. And
yeah, that'd be
we
awesome.
have pictures too, that you guys can send to me. Put those behind it as well. So we've been doing that a lot.
Yeah, I watched a couple of recent podcasts, and
Yeah.
I love watching those pictures in the background.
Fun,
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
So Dan is we were in the same pledge class.
Yeah.
I believe me and Tommy,
Yep.
and I didn't like either one of you.
We were. I don't
I just
know.
heard that for the first time. Tommy,
I don't-
No, he didn't like you.
He didn't like me. I didn't like him. And Dan was always walking around with those, he had a Brad Land's End thing and those duck boots. And him and I think Joe Krajewski were like twins with my.
Oh yeah,
and I was
Krajewski's
just
and
ripping
Andy
out
Conley. Oh, I can still remember it.
Yeah,
And I thought, God, who's this prick?
Yes.
Was that fast?
Oh no, it was.
Oh, I'm sure I probably. I pegged my jeans.
Dan's the only person I've ever met that can peg his jeans and both seams line up. It's
I was a pro.
Unbelievable.
I was a pro. I mean, it's so sad to look back on, and I just like, oh my God, what was I doing?
If I don't rip on you, that means I don't like you very much.
Right.
Because we were always busting balls, and we still do that, but it's fun. So
Dave's cologne was organized by height on his dresser.
Of course.
Probably alphabetized because
I wasn't that bad. Come on. I'm a little OCD though. I will say that. A little bit.
actually a race between you and Andy Conley.
Yeah.
He's from. In fact,
Well, Andy was kind of my hero. Yeah, he was real
you were more of a cologne lined up. Andy's more of a sock drawer guy.
Right. I would agree with that analysis. That's a good analysis, Steve. For sure.
I know he's OCD because me and Tom went to your birthday party or some party.
Oh, maybe my 50th?
Yeah.
That was a doozy. Oh, my.
Me and Tom got there, and it was so neat. We were there was a ton of food. We were grabbing every piece of food.
You guys are
and like
so nice.
all around the living room. Just filling
good friends they are.
with this shit.
Oh my God.
We just gave
I love it.
giving like little spoon
I
girls.
Friends are for.
I need to.
Dion Warwick.
Yeah, exactly. I need to find that picture. You all held me.
I think I sent it to you.
I was laying sideways, and you guys are all holding me.
Oh, get it right. Let's
We gotta find that
send
picture.
all of those, anything you
That
have,
was classic.
and we'll have that collage showing the background, which is so much fun. So anything you can send, but let's talk about you and your lovely
Yes,
wife. and your
I was
kids.
born and raised
Can I
a
stop for
Rocky
a
River
second?
guy.
Yes.
Can I interrupt?
You may.
I feel bad because I talked about my kids, but I didn't mention my partner, Tori Sherry. She also has two kids. Tori is a freshman in Miami. and Matt, who is he's a sophomore at Notre Dame Cathedral out of Church. So she lives in Scranton Falls. Sherry, miss you. She's traveling right now. She travels a lot.
That was a worthwhile
interaction. Back, but it was important to throw that.
Yes,
I apologize. Go ahead.
Good recall there. Anyway, so yeah, born and raised in Rocky River. I don't think I knew you back in the high school years. And I didn't really know Tom that well back then. But anyway, graduated, obviously went to BG. You may ask why am I wearing a Miami vest here, but
why are you wearing Miami?
I have three, well, one that's already graduated from Miami, my oldest Gabby, and then my next son Danny is 21. He's a junior at Miami. Matthew's 19. He's a sophomore at Miami, and then my youngest, Libby, is a junior at Magnificat. So
wonder where she's going to come.
I'm thinking she's leaving Miami.
You think
yeah, I tried BG and I don't know, it just didn't have the same pizzazz to them.
My wife, Caroline, went to BG.
Oh, nobody knows. I wouldn't want to go
I really don't hear about anybody going there.
Nobody goes there.
I mean, and people go there. I don't know why. I don't know.
I mean, we did go look at it when Gabby was.
And it's gotten like it's much nicer now.
No, it's beautiful.
I haven't been back there, but I took back Ohio State, OU, or Miami. And I love Miami. I love going down to visit when my Xander and Isabel went there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a great school.
It's beautiful.
We were just down there a few weeks ago, and my son Matthew pledged Fiji, so he's a Fiji down at Miami, and they had the dad's weekend.
Which is right uptown, isn't it?
Yeah, it's right across from the bagel place. It's like right there. It's a really cool location. Yeah, Skipper. So anyway, it was just fun to hang with my boys, and Danny lives in a house off campus, so we stayed at his house, and yeah, it was tough to keep up though. I had a good first night. Second night I was a little tuckered. Ashamed to say, but
Brick Street. How late did you stay?
Well, we did Brick Street, and then we ended up coming back to Danny's house, and just stayed up and continued to party a little bit too much. But
did you throw jarts in the wall? That's what Sandy used to do.
I didn't. I did not throw jarts.
There's so many stories.
Landlords can't like that.
No,
jarts in the side of the house.
We
Couple of jarts out though for hours.
I was jumping
At
up,
least you can do. That's
sitting up on the bar, and there was a fan, and I was just hitch in the head. We broke that. We had hockey sticks broken through the walls. Then there's a closet on this side, and there's a wall. We broke through the walls. People walking by and stick right. And I'm like, hey, wait. Scared the shit out of us. You guys are idiots. So yeah, so Miami, finish up with the kids.
So that's it. They also, I think, got perfect scores on their ACTs. But Gabby graduated. They're all at the business school at Miami.
That's a good business school.
And so Gabby moved to Chicago and has now come back to Cleveland.
Is she liking that? It sounded like an unbelievable opportunity.
Yeah. She's doing well.
There's so many kids in Chicago from Miami. It's crazy. My son Xander's living there. It's his third year, and there's like 40 Miami guys.
It's always been that way. It was like that way.
It's insane. But thankfully, he's going to come back to Cleveland. His last lease ends in August, so he can get back here.
Since we're in Chicago, we should talk about our pledge class trip to.
Oh my Lord! See, this is where it's good. Now we're going to get into some stories.
Yeah, that was a good time.
When we were
Northwestern
pledged, SAE at the end, y'all getting a van or something.
Yeah, they were like the rented college vans, the white Chevy vans or whatever.
We go to see the True Gentleman at
the chapel.
Quarters of SAE at Northwestern.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we go there.
What's the name?
I don't know.
Billy Levere, and the John L. Mosley leadership. Come on.
See, Steve was
You know more.
Steve
on
was
rock than I do.
he was the pledge educator.
Dan and I were
After we
I don't remember
pledged.
anything about that.
Yeah.
That he took seriously in college.
The 5 grade SAEs, true gentleman.
Yeah, I don't have that. I couldn't either.
No chance I could say that. And it's, I did it when we got there. So we get there, Jerry Bat was the, Jerry Bat was our pledge educator. Yeah, educator, whatever. So we all took money to go there. We're staying at Duncan Gillis' house in the basement. Oh, these guys, three guys with a keg and hanging out. He's got a suite downtown with the higher ups and the SEs. They're partying, living like kings, while we're sucking down a full keg, eating pizza. So
Yeah, it was.
found that out the hard way. And on the way there, I think we had a party before we left to go to Chicago. So I remember I threw up out the window on the way to Chicago.
Oh, I'm pretty sure we were all chugging beers, and I think Haas was driving one of the vans. Mark Haas.
Yeah.
Remember?
Oh yeah. Awesome.
But yeah, that was where.
You know they don't do pledging anymore. Like that.
Really?
They don't pledging. They want you to join. I think they still do something. They just fill out something. Right? Yeah.
They just,
That's not really
Can they accept you or
Yeah.
I mean, I got hazed.
can they accept you or deny you? I never got hazed.
You didn't? I got hazed. Oh, wait, I definitely got hazed. It wasn't horrible. It's whatever.
Well, yeah, it wasn't
I mean, we got verbally hazed. We didn't really have any
some
big yell at you.
but
I don't know. It was pretty calm.
White, everyone naked on the floor of the basement. That was it. I mean, no real hazing.
Well, the elephant walk was kind of awkward. Yeah, that was embarrassing.
And the paddling.
let's rewind that. Say that again.
What happened was
Hawaii
Drinking Mad Dog out of bowls on the ground.
Well, that's probably
We didn't
not a good thing.
actually have Mad Dog tape jar. But all the other stuff I was making up. That was the threat that if at the end of Hell Week, if we didn't do whatever we were supposed to do, they were going to put us in the basement, in the party room, on this linoleum floor and cover it in oil, like cooking oil. And everyone strips down and they have to pretend they're rowing the boat in white and doing this stuff or whatever and singing, and everyone's like, I'm out, I'm done, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm like, there's no way. And everybody, we talked about it all week, like, I wonder if we're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to.
Oh my
And they're
lord.
like, no, we're just messing.
Dan and I were the biggest piece of cake, pledge educators.
Oh, by far.
We didn't. I mean, we had like the spring class, so it wasn't like the full thing.
Yeah, we
You
had
know, it was pretty.
and they were
made it pretty easy. We had like a best size.
they were all a little unique too. That pledge class was kind of.
Like sleep deprivation.
Yeah, there's some good.
Ours was all sleep deprivation.
Honestly, we so.
Well, I mean, at VG though, I remember it was name hometown major. We were supposed to at least know that.
They're not allowed to do
Get
that.
the
For all your brothers, you know, and you had to get signatures.
I mean, they're not, that is considered hazing.
Are you kidding?
There's no facts about your.
To actually demand that they go get signatures, that's hazing.
Wow.
So, which they do, I think, allegedly.
I don't know if I even want to be in this nowadays. So before we talk about some more stories, I have one thought about poker, because there's some interesting stories there. Do you guys still have your poker league?
I do. Going right now.
Would I be able to come back in?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Fucking A.
All right.
So
go.
these guys are pretty good poker players.
Yeah,
I'm not,
these
but
guys,
that's,
not me.
I had
And,
fucked up when I first came in because they didn't know what to expect. But of course, then I folded it out. But they both talked about the poker.
How long have you been doing it? 17 years?
It's been a long time. 12 guys.
Yeah.
A lot of the same guy.
Play 12 weeks. You get 2 bye weeks, and It's great. It's just you play 10 people playing, and play it on point system. Top 3 guys go to Vegas.
When does it start?
It started in end of September, yeah.
Goes through like March.
Every other week. We're about halfway night football night.
Is it
We'll watch
too
Monday
late
night
for
football.
the
Too late this year. We'll do it next year. So you could pay your money in for 10 and just show up. It's a lot. It's about half the guys. Probably half the guys are still the original ones. I mean, Vic and I were original. There's like Jess Oster and Ross, Nick Swingos. And then you got some other newer guys on. Yeah. It's always a good group of guys. We watch Monday Night Football and Sandoz. We eat great food and have a good time every other week. And then you guys go.
It's always Texas Hold'em.
Yeah, it's Texas Hold'em.
The winner would go.
It used to be that Spinner would go to the main event of the World Series of Poker.
World Series of Poker.
One person there, when there was one winner, because they all throw in our entry fee, and then at the end of the season, they would all go to one guy and they'd go play the main event. We changed it now where we just send 3 people to a smaller tournament, and we actually do payouts every time we play. Like the top 3 spots get a little bit, and then we just reprise it for the end so they can go together and play.
Well, we're still playing the World Series.
It's fun.
We're still playing the World Series, which is like 40 some odd events that you can choose from. But that's the main event that everybody knows. But
There's like 60 events. And
Is it
yeah, so the main event's $10,000. But there's other ones that are 1,000, 1,500. So you can still go out there and play a big tournament. It would be a huge win if you wanted. As a group, I'd say we're down. We're probably down. We're definitely down.
That was a lot of fun, and
You should do it next year.
Well,
come aboard next Monday night.
I will
It is.
definitely if you'll have me.
And
Just,
do it
a lot
normally
of
at
times-
Trevor's, right out on Clemens,
Oh,
at
Yeah.
Bayer and Cash.
or your place. We've been a couple times. It's nice.
awesome! No, maybe I'll even just pop in and say hello. So I don't do a whole lot, but I'm starting to do a lot more. And golfing and ski this winter.
I saw the golfing videos. That was pretty cool. You can get it good. I was before this started. Before this started, playing venue early on. I was like, for years, 20 some years ago, like shot 50. And then I saw you play. I'm like, I have to figure out how to play this. Because obviously the ball is different. It sounds different. It flies differently. Everything is different. The swing is different. And I practiced and I played, but I still shoot just under.
He went off to golf in college. That's where he started.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but I believe that. I
I
saw
tried,
the
but
swing.
I was not disciplined enough to be a professional. That's what I wanted to do, but
You had a hell of a game.
I did, and I'm getting it back with this new golf cart. I've already got my hands established.
Nice.
In the 90s.
Unbelievable.
As a cripple.
Just chip away.
I'm going to play something this next week. My goal again is to break 90. I've shot a 90. Bunch of mid-90s, bunch of hundreds. But I've only played it in like, say, 15 times. So I'm progressing pretty quickly.
With that equipment.
With that, yeah.
Yeah. I saw it. It looks great.
Oh, it's awesome. I love it. But when it gets really wet, I can't go out on the course, so they don't let it. So they go carpet going. Well, I can't do that.
Right,
And walk. But I'm hoping to get it out again. And again, my goal is to break 90 this fall, and then to break 80 next summer.
You were like, what, a 3 at 4 after college?
Handicap?
Yeah.
Oh, I was down to lowest was probably a 1. Wasn't that technically scratch, but I shot in the park 40 times.
It's nice, bro.
So I used to be pretty good. I couldn't putt though. I love rounds at Westwood. I shoot 72 with 6.3 fights.
Well, they changed the greens. Maybe it was that. It's probably the greens. Bad grounds keep.
It's just,
They did all the greens every week.
it's just that I'm really shitty powder.
Yeah, but officially.
So I'm getting it back, and so I'm gonna play. They have adaptive golf tournaments. I just did a podcast last week with a guy named Eric Hatch, Eric, songwriter, Rider, and Bailey Bish. She was the Women's National Ohio Adaptive Golf Champion, and I had her on a podcast. Next year, that renewed. She's going to. There's one in Ohio. The first one was last August. I'm going to play in that next August. I'm going to win that, and then move on to some other national ones. But she was a sponsor with King and Quick Control Marketing. So that's my goal. Is to.
That would be so cool.
That's awesome.
That's all I want to do. Is,
awesome. Really.
I'm like, it's like when I was younger and even still functioning as adult, as I do this golf. And I never thought I'd do them again. Now I'm golfing. I'm getting good. And I'm going to ski this winter. And I can't wait. It's just, yeah, I'm excited. Yeah. So back to some stories. What are some good stories that you can think of as far as when we first met? Actually, I just thought of one. Steve, you got to tell the story when you won the 50 grand at.
Oh God!
This story.
Actually, he was part of that.
He sent me a text.
That's an amazing story.
5
You gotta
steps
tell that
of
one.
$10,000.
That's where, like, it doesn't even. It's better to be lucky than good. That was so persistent. That was yeah.
Very
He
persistent.
sat there.
That story is.
So that was actually my favorite casino. I would have to say. I mean, Atlantic City is awful. I mean, I don't mind never going there, but the Borgata is fantastic. I love that casino. They have a great poker series called the Borgata Poker Open, and I went in for a series of events, and Vic went too, and two other friends went, and so we played 3 days. And I remember going. The events I were playing were probably $500 or $600 each to join, or so, like $650. But I remember thinking, okay, so I'll allocate a couple $1,000 and just see what happens. So I remember playing the first night, and I was just awful. When sometimes you're just not locked in, whether it's golf or whether it's whatever else you're doing, and I just play stupid. I get knocked out, and I'm like, all right, that's just dumb. Like, I shouldn't even play the rest of these things. My head just wasn't in it, and that's we were having fun too, going out at nights or dinners or whatever else. But anyway, I got knocked out. But while we were out that night, I was sitting at the table, at the countertop, and they've got those little poker things that you're playing, so you're drink free, which means you drink for $300 an hour. and so I put money in, and I screwed up. I didn't do it, and I bet like the maximum.
Yeah. I'd like to roll up for that too. This is lovely.
Yeah, it's a little Buffalo Trace. Sorry, I don't even know if you know this part of the story, but I the only reason I kept playing was because I was sitting at the bar and we were drinking. I played that little betting thing, and I bet the maximum, which was by accident or something. And
It's called.
It's like I was playing Choose Your Wild. I was playing, just a video poker, sitting on the bar, and it just came up 4 twos. So it gave $2,000. So I'm like, all right, well now I'm free rolling, so that's just dumb. The whole game.
It's got a microphone.
I've been adjusting that thing the whole time. Dan was in charge of tightening this thing.
You just hold it.
Like this.
Pull on that thing. Pull on that thing.
Got this.
All right. Well, I'm just I'm gonna speed up the story. That's about finishing. Thank you. Well, anyway, so I win the 2,000. So I'm like, okay, so now I'm a little more relaxed, and it doesn't matter.
So I ended up, I played decently the next tournament. That's fine. And I played decently the next one, and I got knocked out. I maybe won a little bit of money, but not, but I really just kind of broke even on it, which was fine. Well, then the B bar is right in the middle of the Borgata, and we went there after we played. It was like 11 o'clock at night, and there were, you had left by this time. You took
That
off
night,
that
right.
and who else?
Dan Herkenreiter and I drove back then.
No, Arkenreicher stayed. They tried to put some money in there.
They drove with him one time. So anyway, I love that. That's how you woke him up.
Yeah, that's how it was. Right. Don't get a chance to do that with people very
Not a
often.
lot of people do.
Anyway, and he always thinks I'm the luckiest person anyway. Like he just thinks I'm a complete luck box. So it was actually very pleasing to be able to hit him with $50,000 in there. So anyway, I ended up doing everything wrong that night and being rewarded for it. We went to the bar at 11 o'clock at night. We drank with these other guys who were poker players from Pittsburgh that used to come to these tournaments that Dan and I put on. And they were doing really well. We were having a good time and listening to this reggae band, and it was awesome. And it went until we stayed there till like 2 or 3. And I'm pretty drunk by this time. And everybody kind of ends up splitting. I take that back. It was 4 o'clock. I remember it was 4 in the morning. they end up going apart, and I end up going. And here's the one thing: when I'm playing poker, I'm not. The death of most people who play poker too much is that they either go to the craps table or they bet sportsbook. I mean, they even if they're good poker players and they win consistently, they just pump it all away on those other things. And I usually don't do that. I'm not like a table games guy or any of that stuff. But I ended up going that night, and I figured, okay, I got this $2,000 that I'm not supposed to have. So I'm just going to, kind of freewheel it playing. I sat out this game, Let It Ride. Have you played Let It Ride? It's kind of like you get 3 cards, and you have like 3 stacks of money. And if you don't like your first 3 cards,
You don't have 3 stacks of money. You give 3 stacks of money.
Yes. You put out.
I'll give it to you.
You put out 3 bets.
Try and keep them.
You put out 3 bets, but if you get dealt 3 crummy cards, you can pull your first bet back. And then the dealer turns over the 4th card. If you don't like that either, you can pull the thing back. And then they turn on the last one, so your last bet stays. So, but if you have a pair of aces dealt to you in your first 3 cards, you know you're going to win something automatically, so you just leave your whole bets out. Okay? Now, I'm shocked she was there. This is like 6 in the morning, and but it's like she was whatever. I mean, she was there.
Was she smoking? Was she smoking a cigarette?
I don't know. Actually, I wasn't the best reporter of myself, but I remember all of the basic things, not the details. But anyway, I'm playing it, and I pump through 2,000. So I go do exactly what you're not supposed to do. I go to the ATM. I take out another 1,000. I pump through that. And I'm like, all right, I'm just going to take $500 more. And it's by this time it's like 7 in the morning. And I go, okay, and I'm falling asleep. I'm driving these old ladies crazy. So by this time I'm falling asleep and I'm drinking, whatever. And it's the same guy's been dealing to me for 3 hours. And I'll be damned if the $500 I take out, like within 30 minutes, from like 7 to 7:30 in the morning, I just ran the whole thing back to $4,000. It was like I got everything back. I had bet or want to come in with or anything, and she's pounding the table down. Now go home. You won your money back. She's go home. And I go, that makes a lot of sense. Do you know what I've never done? I've never bet the table maximum before. And then the table maximum, you can stick out stacks of 500. So I put out 3 stacks of 500. Now I know I'm not going to I can't lose it all, because I get to pull at least 2 of them back if I want to, So I'm really betting $600 because I put $100 on top. Betting on 3 cards weird, but whatever. So I'm betting all those, and I just get dealt the 3 worst cards you can get. I get like a 9-4 deuce. You have to have a pair of 10s or better when the whole hand is done to win any money. So I have a 9-4 and a deuce. And I'm like, all right, I take my stack back. And then it turns over a 7. It's impossible for me to win. I'm like, whatever. And I take a stack back. I do $600. And then she's like, now go home. So it says it again. I go, that was so unsatisfying. I got to do it one more time. So I do it one more time. And so I'll hurt this up. Basically, I got dealt up.
Medellas?
Please.
Right. So I got dealt a 5-8 of diamonds, 5-8-9 of diamonds are my 3 cards, which automatically on the $100 I win $500 because it's 3 of a flush. But it's still, I don't even have a pair of 10s. I'm probably not going to get a flush. So anyway, I pulled a 500 stack back, and the guy turns over 6 of diamonds, and now I've got a shot at a diamond flush, a straight if the 7 comes, or a straight flush, which is 1 card in the deck. And I look at Carlos, who's been dealing with me, and I go, because I know the odds. It's going to pay me whatever. I don't get into the odds. I know the odds, and I know I'm supposed to leave the second stack of 500, even though there's a 75% chance I'm going to leave. You know, because just the multiple I'm going to get paid is better. I go, I'm supposed to leave, let it ride, aren't I? And he goes, you're supposed to let it ride. And I go, okay, let it ride. And he looks. I go, can I show you my cards? And he goes, then he looks, he peeks at his card. And he goes, you're going to like this card. And I go, is it a diamond? And he just pops over the 7 of diamonds for a straight flush, which pays, so I had $1,000 out there. That pays 200 to 1. So I should have been paid 200,000, but there was a table max of like 50,000. So whatever. I mean, I'm hardly complaining.
50 grand.
It took them an hour to get it to me because they shut the table down. They checked they're checking the cameras at that point for that win. I mean, they sent champagne out to our table. This lady, I had a picture of it. That guy lost. I was so bummed out because I had a picture back then. It was the 4 of us, and everybody's smiling. Except that lady was like.
That would have been a perfect picture.
I know. I wish I had it.
Do you still have the picture?
No, I looked on my phone.
Of the 50 grand? Remember you said?
I don't have that. Right, because I sent it to you. If you can go back 12 years on my phone and find it, that'll be the only picture. But yeah, I ended up they brought me chips, and I took the chips and I cashed them out, which was pretty dumb of me. I actually probably should have just had a wire or something like that. But I ended up having 5 stacks of 100. And I'm like, Sark and I was sleeping up in the bed. And I just took it and I hit him in the head when I was sleeping. So I just threw it in the back of the head. He's like, what is that? I'm like, that's $50. He was still, you know, the part that was dumb about it, though, besides the whole thing, was driving home. Because then I was driving home by myself. I drove to Atlantic City. So I'm driving back. I'm like, well, now I've got these stacks of, they're in my pocket, but I'm like, so I'm not going to leave it in the car when I go to the rest stop. I go, but I don't feel like walking around with it in my pants, which I ended up doing. I'm like, it's not a good feeling. Anyway, so that's actually
story.
So the best I've ever done in poker was just absolutely doing everything wrong and being rewarded for it. But it's nice. It's actually, that's a good one. No matter how you look at it, that's a really good one.
What a good story. Do you have any gambling stories like that?
No.
Or others?
I don't think so. I mean, how do you top $50,000 win?
That's the best
I've been gone to like Hall of Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductions. You should tell us some good stories about stuff like that. So,
I saw you doing one of those.
this was pretty good.
You and your wife.
Yeah, we were in, so we went up, and I wasn't sure about this at all, and we ended up going to the Leonard Skinner induction. Blondie, Debbie Harry was there, and I love Leonard Skinner, and Caroline loves Blondie. Black Sabbath was being inducted. So we had, Ozzy and all that crew. Kid Rock was inducting. Leonard Skinner, he was the one that gave the speech. And this was at the Waldorf Astoria. Yeah, so we got to meet all these people. And this was at the Waldorf Astoria. And maybe, 1,000 people were there. It was their, it was like a banquet room or whatever, like where people had weddings and things. So it was a small venue.
What year was this?
This was probably 2003 or 4, I'm guessing, somewhere in there.
Were you eating Billy yet?
They were still having these in New York at the time. And then they started going back and forth. So, you could just walk up. We have pictures of, standing there, Kid Rock is standing right next to us. And my wife said, oh, God, he's really good looking up close. And I'm like, all right, easy. And he was a really good looking guy up close when you see him. Like, he definitely presents differently when he's giving his thing. But it was funny because we went, one of the pictures we have, Gary Rossington, the guitarist for Leonard Skinner,
comes off stage. He's walking around. He's got his induction trophy, and he's like walking by me, and I just said, "Hey, I have a Jeep. I listen to Leonard Skinner's greatest hits all the time. That's all I think about when I think about a Jeep, because I did it for years. I drove with this thing. So I'm like, do you mind if I get a picture? And he's like, yeah, man, here, hold this. So he gives me his trophy. So I'm standing in this picture with holding the trophy, my arms around his shoulder, and we take this picture. It's down in our basement right now. It's just sitting. It's a small picture on the wall.
And what's got to be on this?
We can get to that one. We can get to. But the funny thing is, that picture, my daughter had a Halloween party or some kind of a party, and there were about 40 kids in the basement. And one of them, this is like 12 years old or something, one of them was like, did your dad win an Academy Award? And I go, what did you tell him? And she's like, I said no. And I'm like, no. You should say, I don't know what
role was that?
Let's give it a little sauce on there. No, so they thought I won the Academy Award. And he just passed away last year. He was the last original member.
So, get to talk to Kid Rock at all?
Yeah, we talked to Kid Rock.
I love him. I love his music. I saw him in concert, one of the best concerts I've ever seen, on the Boyne Mountain in Michigan.
Yeah.
He's always
Right.
where he's from. It's just,
I've seen him live a couple times. He's great. He's a really good performer.
His performance is insane. It's crazy.
I mean, I'm standing in line, not in line, just walking into the restroom, and, Kelly Osbourne, because Ozzy was being inducted.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're like these tables, and we're in the balcony, we're in the cheaper seat, but they're down on the floor, and then, in between, just mingling around. Everyone's just walking around. It was cool. And they're just as friendly as can be. Everybody's walking out and talking and taking pictures, whatever, so it was cool.
Yeah, there was one year, it was at the Cleveland Convention Center. I remember seeing him live, and we were there with Bobby Conrad, Kenny Rivich and their wives, and Bobby's wife Laurel was on the board and helped put some.
That's right.
So we had seats.
That's how we got invited. Was through Laurel.
Oh yeah.
Originally,
Yeah, and we ended up on like B-52s. I can't remember who else was there. Our wives were on the stage dancing with B-52s.
Isn't that amazing?
We were up close and we were up there. It was like, somebody went up there and she, of course, followed, and another lady just helped them up. And the band was, it was just way too much fun. So
yeah, it's what an experience. We just brought that up about what experience when you look back. Did you think, maybe I'm overdoing it, maybe I shouldn't do it, or whatever, and then you did it, and it's a great memory? That was number one. We weren't even going to go. I was like, do we really want to do that? I mean, what did it do? And we didn't know how it worked, and it was one of the greatest memories. It was just fun.
That's very cool.
It was great.
Did you guys ever go down to into the Hall of Fame?
I did not. I was not fortunate enough to get those tickets, but obviously I'm a big music fan, so I love to go see live music. But
favorite concert band?
I just go to the more smaller artists. I'm a huge Martin Sexton fan, as he knows.
Is that the guy who's coming to?
Yeah, he's coming to Supper Club. Yeah, so he's my go-to, but he's really more of a, I don't know, I guess they consider him kind of he's in all different genres, but folk is what they consider him. I don't really think he's folk, but he's got a crazy cool voice. And
when is he playing at Music Box?
It's in January, I believe. So
you sent me something.
Oh yeah.
Can you send me something again? Because I'm going to try and go down.
Him live. He's just a
I'm
talent.
going to try and go down.
There we go.
And the manager of the place.
Oh yeah.
I think I can get some free tickets because the manager after our event was like, she was like, "Hey, walking down, tickets on me."
We should
yeah.
the girls
Get the chickies and us, and we get a driver, go down there.
Yeah, I thought you would be pleasantly surprised if you saw him live. He's just
come cruise in. Actually, you can get us really good seats with the with that
Get us up. Why do you think we're so friends with you?
That's it.
Finally,
So
you asked.
good seats in the Browns game.
Yeah, right.
Best parking spots, and we go to a concert and with a wheelchair.
We
And
should
I'll-
hang out
I'll
more
crib it
often,
up
Sandy.
a little bit, like, and they'll put me right up front. See, there's a lot of benefits
There
to
you
being
go.
hanging out with
There
me.
you go.
Dan might be sitting on your lap.
Oh,
He usually does.
He doesn't mind.
That's
He
not
doesn't
going to be anything different than normal.
I was just trying to think. One of my favorite Sandy Hahn stories was that weekend at your summer cottage in Finley Lake.
Oh, Finley Lake, yeah.
Holy smokes! Now that was
That was a Kamano LA party
oh my gosh.
where me and my best
was
friend
it?
in Chicago. My parents used to have this big place at Finley Lake.
Yeah, it
Barn
was
that was
right on the
house
lake.
and pool and deck and jet skis and boats and
Pretty close to Trevor's.
Yeah, just across the lake. Yeah,
it was crazy, and that party was.
but there were a bunch of SAE guys there. Remember?
Oh, yeah, we had-
I mean,
And it
I
was
think
still fun.
hey, come on now.
There were.
Hey, come on, I gotta speak nothing.
I remember there were so many people there, and I'm down below. There's a hot tub of people in there, and I sit there taking a break, and our brother Steve was there, and we looked up and you could see the cinema. It's like, oh shit, we're gonna die. So we had to go shut it down, but
So
yeah.
you skied a lot? You probably grew up skiing.
I grew up skiing. I grew up skiing at Holly Mountain, Holly Valley. Jim Doyle, my dear friend, Jimmy, and Matt Newhoff. We go to Elkville every weekend. I
It's
learned.
just an hour away, right? About an hour up the road.
No, Elk's 4 hours.
From
From Peak and Peak, yeah, it's about an hour.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I learned at Boston Mills and Brandywine.
Yeah.
And then they invited me up, and first weekend I'm still learning, and they're just ripping through bumps and kind of giving me indication where you got to keep up or you're not getting invited back. So I learned by watching them and all, and I got really good. It's
Trial by fire.
Yes, totally. It worked, and
I can attest to that. I remember seeing you ski at Peak and Peak when I'd go up to Trent's Cottage. He would literally just right through the bumps, and
again,
I'd be sitting at the top,
So I
looking
did.
down like,
Oh my
I'm gonna go
Ripping
get
through
the
bumps.
snowplow.
And
I'm curious, because you were, I mean, you weren't shy about your colors. Like, what color is your ski suit? Was it bright? Bright?
He was.
Yes.
Yes, I thought.
he-
Benetton.
He
went right to Benetton.
Yeah.
Sandy, I finally, after decades of hearing about your purple tux in high school,
Right.
I finally saw you in it.
well, there was
With
a
Scotty Evans was your name, right? Yeah. So Scotty was in my place.
I love that. So
But
she just texted me
But,
today. Hey,
but
Julie.
that was as purple as I pictured it. But I gotta believe you in ski outfits was like day glow.
Well, I had my favorite pair. It was bright red, like army fatigue. You could see me from the top of the hill coming down. So, and everyone always said,
Red camo,
bright red camo.
oxymoronic.
Yeah, right.
And I would always wear something, I gotta be noticed, I gotta be me. But the one who wears the most obnoxious ski outfits, and we're gonna actually put some of those pictures on here, my brother Steve. He has head to toe pink. And
I believe it.
just
I think I remember a couple of those actually.
But he could ski. You see him in Hannah's and ski like, damn. Because he's double black diamond ripping through the bumps. It's amazing. So I'm gonna go back out and ski with him. Probably gonna try and think about the Vale every year.
That's real.
And they all have like adaptive skiing programs up there. They're everywhere. So I get my thing.
All right.
Once I get this
What's
down,
the setup when you see you getting your thing? What's
I don't know yet. I'm going to find out this winter because there's different things. Just like a stand-up thing where you can ski, like a walker.
skis on either
I
side?
don't even know.
I've seen that. I think with the skis on either side.
I think so. There's one where you sit. It's a mile ski. There's one where there's poles with their skis. There's several different ones. The guy sent me a bunch of stuff. I can't wait
So
to
to just figure it out. Try
figure that out. And once I get that down, then I'm going to try it for the next Paralympics, and then if I can go back.
You know what?
Now
That would be something.
Hey.
Why not? Bring it home.
cheers to that.
Yes. Cheers. Oh, that's awesome. Boom.
Boom.
All right, so that's probably how we do our time.
Good. Yeah, keep going.
Where are we at though? Just curious.
You're at an hour 8. That's about good.
That's a good time.
All right.
And we won't need a whole lot of edits.
I hope not. That was
No, but-
that was awesome.
That was
A lot of
really fun. Any closing words?
Well, I will say.
All right. I mean, this is
Isn't it fun?
Sitting out
It's
back,
over an
having
hour.
a fire and a drink or two.
Talking bullshit because we've got a lot of other stories that
We
need to
do.
be shared.
Oh, there are a lot more.
Well, I do have to say one thing. I had the pleasure of being the kitchen steward one semester at the SAE house in Bowling Green.
Yeah.
And I had the keys. I had the keys to the kitchen, but I also had to clean up after. Like, we had assigned guys to do this and that, you know. And but the biggest problem in the house was we kept losing our plates because all the brothers would just get their dinner and walk up to their room, eat, and then throw the plate under the bed or wherever the hell they threw it. So we had like a plate shortage. And I don't know if you remember this, but you were the worst offender. We went into your room, and I think you.
You had a whole set of trash.
I think you lived. I think you lived with Billy Ember
Yes,
that year
Billy.
or that semester, and there were plates like in every corner, and they had dried food, like all the plastic cups that we were supposed to leave in the kitchen area, all up in Sandy's dorm room. Or
Yeah, that sounds
Right,
like
bro.
me
Yeah.
back in college.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
but anyway, that-
kids didn't have to do as many dishes. That was nice.
You're
just
welcome.
helping out.
You're welcome.
Well, I approse that.
But once I got back from it, I threw it away. That shit was.
Yeah, I mean those.
Cake
I was
on
not gonna try and wash those. No. Those are done. Right in the trash. Yeah, but that was a good one. Anyhow,
Anyone else? You good?
Daddy. That was fun.
yeah. Thanks for having us on.
See you again. Catch you.
Thanks
Appreciate
for
it.
having me. Thanks for having us at this location.
And this
Yeah,
nice.
thank you, Vic.
This
Yeah,
was
thank you, Victor.
fantastic.
Cheers.
Fun night.
And next time we'll do it again somewhere else. I like going to different places, going to restaurants now. I got 2 I went to last Saturday night. Landing in Akron. The Landings and Dino's Lounge.
Never been.
Awesome. And then Pitchfork, the restaurant in Akron, one of the best meals I've had. And I met a few co-owners and they're both going to have one of the podcasts there.
Nice.
I'll let you know when if you want to come down. Just,
I love
Just have dinner.
oh, there is I can't wait to tell you about it. It's amazing stuff. Anyway, that'll do it for tonight. Thank you, Vic. Thank you,
welcome.
Steve.
Thanks for
Thank you,
coming.
Dan. Love you guys.
Thanks, Sandy.
Thanks for watching. Take care.
Take care.